Why do you want a relationship so bad? No, really, like genuinely, why do you want it? And I'm not asking that in a judgmental way. I'm asking because I think a lot of us never really stop and ask ourselves that question. We kind of just feel the desire and run with it. We see people on campus holding hands, doing the forehead kiss thing, sitting next to each other in the library, like there's some coming of age film. And immediately our brain goes, yeah, I need that. Me and who? And I get it, I really do. I've been there. But I think if you don't stop and ask yourself why you want it, you can end up running straight into something that looks like love and feels like relief. And then 6 months later, you wake up like, why am I here? Why am I with this person? Do I even want to be here? And that's such a terrifying feeling. It's such a weird feeling to spend 3, 4, 5 months with somebody, talking all the time, hanging out, doing all the little relationship things. And then one morning you look at yourself in the mirror and realize that none of this has made you feel more like yourself. You look at them and you almost feel guilty because you're like, I don't even know if I want this. I don't know if I ever wanted this for the right reason. And that's the part nobody wants to admit. A lot of us don't want love as much as we think we do. We want relief. We want a break from our own head. We want attention. We want to feel chosen. We want to prove that we're lovable. We want someone to look at us and go, you matter to me. And I understand that that's a deeply human thing, right? But if that's the main reason that you want a relationship, it's going to hurt you. Because a relationship can support you, it can encourage you, it can add so much beauty to your life. It can give you teamwork, intimacy, memories, comfort, somebody who gets you, somebody who calls you out on things that you're doing wrong, somebody who makes a hard day lighter. But it can't build you from nothing. It can't. And I think a lot of people quietly believe that it can. They think, once I get into a relationship, I'll finally calm down. I'll finally stop feeling so insecure. I'll finally have a direction. No. What usually happens is all the insecurity you had before just gets dragged into the relationship with you. You thought it was going to disappear. It doesn't. It just gets a new place to live. Now the insecurity has a face. Now it has a text thread. Now it has response times. Now it has plans that can get cancelled. Now it has a person that you're scared to lose. So instead of becoming more secure, sometimes you become more anxious. And that's why this matters so much, because if you use a relationship like an emotional painkiller, you're going to panic the moment that it stops numbing you. And it always stops numbing you, because that first rush, the butterflies, they never last forever. The beginning phase is crazy, it really is. You meet someone and they're into you, you're into them. Your music sounds better, food tastes better, you've got more energy, you care about how you look again. You're walking around smiling at the dumbest things, and it feels amazing, right? But that phase can trick you, because you start thinking, oh wow, I'm doing better now. Are you doing better, or are you just distracted? That's the question. Because distraction feels incredible when you don't want to face your life. If you feel lost in your career, a relationship is a great distraction. If you feel insecure in your body, a relationship's a beautiful distraction, right? If you don't really like yourself, attention is also a good distraction. If you feel lonely and out of place, a relationship's also a distraction from that. And the warmth is real, I'm not taking that away from anybody. But warmth isn't the same as transformation. It doesn't fix the deeper issue, it just makes it quieter for a bit. And eventually the volume comes back up. That's when a lot of people start putting insane pressure on the relationship, because they don't even realize they're just not looking for love. They were looking for someone that would rescue them. That's what makes this so serious. A lot of people aren't asking for a partner. They're asking for an escape or an exit. exit from being alone with themselves, an exit from their insecurity, an exit from the life that they don't want to face. And I get it, right? I've wanted that too. I've wanted a relationship because I loved the optics of it. I'm just being so for real. I love the idea that someone could want me, someone could choose me, and someone attractive, someone cool and nice could be in my life, and that would somehow say something about me. Like I could say to the people around me, see, I can do it too. I'm valid too. I'm lovable too. That's such a dangerous reason to want a relationship, because you're basically asking another person to solve a question you have about yourself. And they can't. Even if they love you, no matter how much they love you, even if they're kind to you, even if they want the best for you, they still can't do your inner work for you. They can't build your self-respect. They can't decide your direction. They can't make you feel whole if you're using them to avoid yourself. What happens instead is you begin leaning on them for everything. Your mood is based on them, your confidence is based on them, your energy is based on them, even your self-worth is based on them. And then the relationship becomes too heavy. It becomes like emotional life support. And no human being wants to be somebody else's life support forever. It sounds romantic in theory, it really does. Oh, I need you. I can't do this without you. You complete me. Bro, that sounds good when you're 17 and the song in the background is crazy and the sunset is beautiful. In real life, it becomes exhausting. Because now that person isn't just your partner. They are your confidence and your peace and your proof and your therapy and your stability, your everything. And that's too much. That's way too much. And then people act confused when the relationship starts to rot. Of course it does. It was carrying way more than it was built to carry. A relationship should be an addition to your life. That's why I see it. It should be the icing on the cake. It should be something that you can pour into because you have something to give, not because you need something. And I know that sounds kind of idealistic because obviously no one's 100% healed and perfect and ready and all figured out. That's not what I mean. I just mean you should have at least some kind of foundation, some kind of self-respect or direction or peace with yourself, some kind of ability to be alone without feeling like you're disappearing. Because if you can't be alone without collapsing, then you're way more likely to use relationships as a form of self-medication. And that's where things get muddy. You stop choosing people because they're good for you and start choosing them because they make the pain go away. And pain relief is very persuasive. That's why people stay in weird situations. That's why people ignore stuff they shouldn't ignore. That's why somebody can treat you in a way that you don't deserve and you'll still hold on because the idea of going back to your old loneliness feels worse than the current mess that you're in. That isn't love. The thing is, it's fear, and fear will dress itself up. It'll make itself sound beautiful. It'll say, no, I just care about them so much. Maybe. But maybe you're also terrified of what your life feels like when they're not there to distract you from it. I think that's why loneliness is such a powerful thing. Loneliness doesn't just make you sad. It makes you impulsive. It makes you romanticize people. It makes you lower your standards. It makes you act like crumbs or a feast because you've been starving emotionally. And when you're starving, you stop asking whether the food is good for you. You just eat. That's what a lot of people are doing with their love lives. They're emotionally starving and then wondering why they keep ending up in bad situations. It's because you didn't choose from peace, you chose from hunger. Hunger has terrible taste. Before anyone twists this, I'm not saying wanting a relationship is bad, right? I'm not saying wanting love is wrong. I think it's completely normal. It's beautiful. It's a human thing to want love and to want somebody else to love you back. I just think you owe it to yourself to ask why you want it. Because that question will save you so much pain. Do I want it because I genuinely have love to give and I would like to build something with somebody? Do I want it because I'm excited by the idea of partnership? Do I want it because I actually like this person, respect this person, and want to grow with them? Or do I want it because I'm insecure? Because I'm lonely? Because I want to prove something about myself to myself or to other people? Because everyone around me seems to have it? Because I'm scared I'll be alone forever? Because life feels empty and I'm hoping that this will fill it? That's the question. And it applies to way more than just relationships. Money too, status, career as well, right? You can want success because you genuinely want to build, create, serve, provide, live comfortably. That's real, right? You can also want success because you want to walk into your hometown 20 years later and have somebody go, "Bro, nice car." And if that's the whole reason, be honest about that. Be honest. Because so much of maturity is just honesty. It's being able to look at your own motives without flinching. Like, yeah, this is insecurity talking. Yeah, this is loneliness talking. Yeah, this is me trying to be accepted. Yeah, this is me looking for external proof because my internal world is not where I want to be. That honesty changes everything. Because once you see the real reason, you stop worshiping the wrong solution. You stop thinking the relationship is the answer when the actual issue is that you don't know how to sit with yourself. And sitting with yourself is hard. That's why people avoid it. It's way easier to chase somebody, or to fantasize, or flirt, or imagine, or romanticize, do the whole me and who thing, than it is to sit in your room and admit that I don't like my life right now. I don't like how I feel about myself right now. That's a brutal thing to admit to yourself. But once you admit it, your life can actually change. Then the relationship stops being the fantasy cure to what's wrong with your life. And it becomes what it should be. One beautiful part of a bigger life. And I really believe that. I think one of the most freeing realizations I've ever had was recognizing that even if I ended up alone for a long time, I'd be okay. I'd be thrilled by it, sure, but okay. I'd still be able to take care of myself. I'd still be able to do the things I love. I'd still be able to get coffee or go for a drive or make something or talk to people and laugh and exist. And when I really accepted that, the desperation started to lessen its grip on me, so to say. Because I was no longer looking at relationships like they were the final verdict of my life, like so many people are. And that changed how I related to people. I didn't need them to save me anymore. I could just like them. That sounds small, but it's huge. Because when you don't need somebody to rescue you, you can finally see them for who they are. You stop putting them on a pedestal. You stop idolizing them. You stop putting insane pressure on them. You stop turning every interaction into a test of your own worth. You can just appreciate them as a person. And that's where good love actually starts. Not in need, not in desperation, not in fear. It being grounded in who you are. In, I like who I am enough that I can like you without trying to use you as a patch for my insecurity. It's a very different kind of love. I think a lot of people have never experienced it before because they were too busy looking to be rescued. So if you're sitting there right now wanting a relationship really, 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 really badly, I'm not telling you to shut that desire off. I'm telling you to look at it honestly. Ask where it came from. Ask what it's trying to fix. Ask it what it's promising you. Because if what it's promising you is self-worth, peace, identity, purpose, a rescue from a life that you don't want to face, then a relationship's going to disappoint you. Not because they're bad, but because you asked it to do something that no human on earth can do. The good news is that you can build a life that doesn't require being rescued. You can become somebody who has direction and has peace and self-respect and has routines and purpose, who has enough going on internally that love becomes a gift, not an emergency. And when you get there, you stop chasing these weird situations. You stop trying to force things. You stop accepting half-hearted effort because you think it's the best that you can get. You stop calling anxiety love. And that's when love becomes healthy. That's when it feels lighter. That's when it actually has room to grow into something beautiful. So yeah, a relationship won't save you, and honestly, that should be comforting, because it means that you don't have to wait for someone to arrive before your life can begin. It means you can start becoming somebody you respect right now. And when love shows up, you'll be able to meet it with open arms instead of grabbing at it with fear. And if you're doing something new, like actually putting yourself first and asking yourself these questions, just know I believe in you. You've got this. Have a good day.